All right. Next up, to talk about a hot topic, measuring face-to-face advocacy, Baruch, the head of developer relations from JFrog.
Right. Okay, and this thing is on, and my slides are on, and it's just perfect. Okay, 20 minutes. Thank you all for coming. We're going to talk about measuring the unmeasurable. And first, I will make a case why it cannot be measured, and then I will probably tell you how to measure it. This is the idea. Heidi, take notice. This is my official title, Chief Sticker Officer, but also head of developer relations with JFrog. And the Chief Sticker Officer because it's easier to manage stickers than developer relations. I'm at Baruch on Twitter. Follow me because I'm a very entertaining guy. If you're still in doubt and discover that I'm very entertaining during this talk, my Twitter handle is on every slide, just in case. Yeah, so you all know about the Impostor Syndrome, very high with me. I pretend that I know things, but not really. So usually when I don't know things, I come and ask people. This is what I did 2 years ago when I spoke about DevRel strategy in DevRelCon 2016. Anyone was here? Oh, okay, guys. So that's thank you very much for coming again. I don't know why would you do that, but anyways. Let's go back in time. I made a lot of points back then, and one of them was about how hard it is to measure face-to-face activities. As I mentioned, I asked other people about that, and I got a lot of feedback, which all was about the same lines. How do we measure a conference talk? I wish I knew the answer, and it's a lot of gray there, and I never found a good way to wrap around the conference, and obviously the best one, which means I have no idea, is this, is more of the realm philosopher than statistician. That's Ted Neward, and he is just amazing in doing that. It basically means all the same, we have no idea how to do it. And so I went and looked for existing metrics, and one of them, Rob Spector, did a talk at another DevRelCon about measuring developer evangelism, and one of the examples he provided was an audience size. I guess that's a metric that is kind of easy and makes sense. Well, we all understand that it's not perfect, right? I'd count the attendees, but I know it's not enough. Attendance count is only a part of it, and attendance is not a perfect metric, well, although it might be useful. And here I want to plug, obviously, the wonderful book, The Business Value of Developer Relations by Marie. She's here. She's amazing. The book is amazing. I will call it for short the DevRel Bible because it is what it is. And she kind of agrees. Quick count or estimate of number of people in the room makes sense, but we all know that it's not enough. And for me, there are two problems with it. First, it actually measures the buzzwords nest of the title. This is why you are all here, because I came up with a very clever title, and this is how I build my attendance. And it also gives you more or less attendance depending on what's going on in another room. And Venkat is my speak and roll model, but put name of whoever your speak and roll model here. If they are in the next room, you'll probably end up with not a lot of people. And well, yeah, it's not the best metric ever. What else can we measure? And again, people kind of agree. Conference ratings, if conference runs a ratings program. How many people took their phones and took pictures of the slides? Obviously, that's very good. And whatever your slides were tweeted. And going back to the Bible of DevRel, most technical conferences have hashtags. You can often see which tweets were direct results of your talk. Collect these tweets into a moment. And you know what? I'll let Marie to take a picture. OK, good. I did that 2 years ago. So here is my moment from DevRelCon 2016. And you know what? Do it a little bit. That's okay. Looks great. People tweet my slides like crazy. Look at that, look at that. And whoa, I'm popular. And then I had a slide with dog and cat. That's 100% chance of being tweeted, right? So people went crazy about that. And then you see a lot. And then I had a meme with Stalin. I mean, that's also like, and you see since then, it's like dog, cat, Stalin, Stalin, dog, cat, and it goes. Like, it's a very long time. And I'm like, "Ew, look at that. My talk was great, but there is a plot twist." I actually asked people to do that. So it's kind of a metric which is very easy to rig. And again, I encourage you to take pictures of this one, because if that's the metric, you know what? I'll play the game, and my talk will be a great success based on this metric. But this is an amorphous stat, because maybe the internet was down, so people couldn't really tweet your slides. Maybe it was end of day, and all the phones went dry. Or maybe, and it's a good thing, you had a lot of animated kittens, and then people took pictures, but for wrong reasons, I guess. Or you know what, maybe people forgot your handle, and obviously I took care of that because it's on every slide, just a reminder. So generally, yeah, that's kind of not very reliable stat as well. So I promised 2 years ago that I will do this talk, and Matthew was kind enough to let me do that. So let's try and do it. And obviously I need to build upon my success, so here is for you is a meme with Stalin, and that's actually a real quote. He said it once. I'm not sure he was very, you can count him on that one, but it's a true quote. Anyway, what do we know how to measure? What is easy for us to measure? When do we find the answer? Hint, online. Here we go. Online engagements are the easier thing to track. Track everything that you can possibly track and automate everything. I mean, we know how to measure online. We all have blogs, and we all have YouTube, and we all have Twitter. All of them have analytics of some sort. It's easy to measure online. And the real question is, how do we do that? This is Alice. She's my wife, and all best ideas in my life are hers, including the idea of marry her, including the hat, and including how to measure conference talks. And she's great in marketing and personal branding, and this is why. So this is all her ideas. I told you, ask smart people. So what do we want? We want more people go online, because we know how to measure online. How would we do it? Free stuff. We give people free stuff, and they follow. So this is what we want to do. Slides, people want your slides, usually. The easiest way to do it is put it online, and people will follow. Video, this one is trickier. There are good conferences, like DevRelCon, that record all the videos and publish them online. There are not so good conferences that record all the videos and publish them 3 months later, and there are horrible conferences that don't record or don't publish. So in any case, regardless, you promise your video online in 24 hours in known place. People will come. Links. We speak about a lot of stuff, a lot of conferences, and a lot of concepts. So for example, I plug the book and I plug it again, and you're like, I want to buy this book. It's wonderful. Where do I find it? You go to a known place, you will find a link to buy a book. White papers, articles, I had this conversation with Tamao the other day, and she was like, yeah, we're doing the same. We give free stuff, and the free stuff that they're giving are white papers and articles. That's another great example. So, swag? Yes, swag. Promise people swag, they will come. We all know that, and this is something we can do as well. So with that, I give you what we call show notes. So it's a page in a very known and simple URL, and that will be jeffrog.com/show notes. And people will find here this free stuff that I'm talking about. So let's go, for example, for a talk we delivered with Leonid at Oracle Code 1. This is the show notes page for this talk. So obviously, it has the slides, it has the video, it has all the links that we mentioned, and they can go there and see what's going on. Some vanity. And then ratings, people love rate. And like, oh, that was horrible, or oh, that was great. Comments, super useful. Let them ventilate here instead of on Twitter. Very good. No one reads that. Super useful. And then free swag. Win an Amazon Echo Dot. You fill out the form. And then I raffle an Echo Dot. It's like, what, like 30 bucks? And the chance of winning is very high because like 5 people fill it. And people are, and that you take on Twitter, people are like, yeah, I won, like I don't know what they want. So this is just great. So this is very simple. And you pull it after, I do it after every, before each and every talk. So when you go there now, and you can see it right here, we have a show notes page for DevRelCon London. And here is measuring the unmeasurable, and we're going like in meta loops, right? So this is the show notes page of a talk about show notes page. How cool is that? The slides are already here, a couple of links, and everything else. So you can build it on whatever you like. You can build it on GitHub pages. You can build it on your corporate blog like I did, or Medium, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is you give people stuff and they will follow. And then the question is, okay, does it work? Right? You do all this work, you put it online, do people come? So let's see what we want to measure, and if we're actually successful. So first, and that's again something that I spoke 2 years ago, why do we measure? There are many reasons, but 2 main. One of them is continuous improvement. You want to know what talk works the best, or what event works the best. And for that, you measure stuff like visits to this page, video views, slide views, and link clicks, and also, you know, the Google Forms, so you know the ratings and this kind of stuff. And the beautiful of this one, you don't need any BI teams or systems of your organization to support. Those metrics just come out of the box with whatever you use. Right, so use Google Analytics, and boom, you have all the stuff, right? So you can see here, and let's see, let's go back in time for a second. Let's say to June, and let's see what talks I had and which one were successful. So internet, work, please. Yeah, here we go. Right, so you see those peaks are the days when I gave talks and people came to show notes. And those are obviously, 2 of them are very successful. The rest of them are not so much. Trending metrics, users. Okay, research into DevOps bottlenecks from DevOps world, that was like 103 people came. Master tooling containers and Microsoft Ignite, 103 people came. And we can speculate why. So master tooling, we had about 300 people in a room. So every 3rd participant came. With research into DevOps bottlenecks, we had about 100 people. Everybody came. That's amazing. And we can speak about why. We won't get into it. Videos. So the video numbers are very low because the videos are embedded on the show notes page. So those are only those who prefer to watch the videos on YouTube. Where do we see the metrics of whoever watched the videos on embedded? In a YouTube Analytics. And that's, again, out of the box. You don't have to do anything for that. So here's a talk, Java Puzzlers, DevNexus last year. And that's like the first month. So you can see here, we had a huge spike on the day of the conference. Here, right, 123 views on the day of the conference. People watched the video and possibly did something with that. And maybe they just found it out there in the wild. Well, we have this great metric, and we can see that actually embedded was the majority. 53% actually watched this video on the landing page, on the show notes page, and that's very cool. For slides, I use Noticed for my slides. There are SlideShare, which is another option. Actually, SlideShare has much better analytics, but I want to give Noticed a chance. They have pretty basic analytics, just the views, and you can see here again which slides were more successful. So this is the continuous improvement. And as I mentioned, the beautiful part of it it's out of the box. You have that. You don't need to do anything for that. The other purpose is you want your organization to love you. And again, quoting the DevRel Bible, warm handoffs to other departments are increasingly important. This is a definite way to attribute value to DevRel activities. This is great, and how it relates to show notes, I want to see how I help other departments. Can I prove that my talk was the first touch on funnels of other departments? Did someone see my talk and then went through and actually bought JFrog Artifactory? Or maybe we hired someone because they visited the website. So we need to measure stuff like convention to products, to trials, to webinars, to what's not. And the way of doing it is de-anonymization using cookies. So what we do, or what we're supposed to do, let's put it that way, is we can put a cookie in a browser of whoever visited the show notes. They're completely anonymous. We have no idea who goes there, who watched the video, who downloads the slide, and what's not. But if they do something meaningful from the same browser later, for example, they sign up for a webinar, I can actually correlate, yes, this person actually visited the show notes page, and this is why they sign up to the webinar. And I will go to my marketing team and say, you saw that? You saw that? That's my guy. Saw that? Right, and I do it a lot, and that's a lot of fun. So this is kind of the idea, and I already show you the dog food, and it actually is there. So first of all, on each and every slide, on each of my talks, you will see this URL. And that's for people to know that they can go there and find it. And it's actually live. So you go to jfrog.com/show-notes to get the slides, to get the video that I will upload in 24 hours. All the links are there, including where to buy the book, ratings, comments, everything in there. And a small raffle, you already know, Amazon dot. Extremely high chances of winning. Don't pass of that, although it is kind of ridiculous. And with that, some, what's going on? Oh, here. Some vanity ads, very important. I'm at Baruch on Twitter. By now you all followed me, I know. This is DevRelCon, and I'm lucky to be one of the co-hosts of DevRel Radio, which is a podcast about people in developer relations and their bosses who we hope love them. And with that, thank you very much. I have time for questions. Look at that. It was 20 minutes, and I still have time for questions. Any questions? I just told you how to do the impossible, and you have no questions. What's going on? That's good, yeah. Okay, no questions. Thank you. I have a lunch now or another talk? Coffee break, good, coffee break. So that's why there was no questions. People want coffee. Nice try, yeah, I know.
Next more exciting thing after the talks is coffee. We have a coffee break, and then we will be back in 30 minutes. I think it's 30 minutes, right? I think so, 30. 20 minutes, 20 minutes.